Welcome back yet to another episode of Idea to Income brought to you by Eastern Credit Union. Now, it's all about all our entrepreneurs, those dreamers out there that want to start something, and all we have to do is start. And I say we because I still want to start things too. And with that being said, we have a gentleman here with us where he is able to show us where it all began with a dream and now he is living the reality. We would like to welcome the founder, the CEO, the creator of Heartland Estate, Mr. Jeffrey Gillen.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure being here.
Yes.
Right, I'll give you a little history about myself. Like any young person, I left school at age 20. I was a bit fortunate because I went to Fatima College, and then I went to boarding school in England, and then I came back in 1979. And like a lot of young people, not knowing what I wanted to do, and realizing that here I am at age 20. You know, my parents had brought me up to that point, and now I have to find a pathway in life. And I thought of accountancy, but I always had a passion for building. So my dad was originally an insurance agent, and then he got into real estate. So I kind of had a little feel for it. And then we did a renovation at our home, and I was there every day, pounding nails and learning and what have you.
Foundation stage.
Foundation stage. And I thought, you know, this is something I like, and I think I can do it. And the late Cecil Ferdinand, who was a contractor at the time, gave me a job with him to run a project. I couldn't read a plan, but I met a foreman there who taught me how to read a plan. I bent steel, I laid blocks, I plastered walls. So I really, for the first time in my life, I actually was doing physical work, because before that I never even mowed a lawn. So I worked with Cecil for about a year, and then I got a contract to build a house in St. James, and it turned out well. And then I said, you know, why am I building houses for people? Why I don't buy land, build houses, and sell?
Right.
And the idea struck me. I bought 5 lots of land in San Fernando in Palmis, and I built 5 houses and sold them 5. And that's where it
started, right?
Yes.
From a house in St. James to property, land.
Yes.
In Palmis, San Fernando.
Yes.
And I want to go back just a little. You mentioned when you left school at age 20 and you wasn't sure, like what exactly you wanted to do. What was that like for you and your parents? Because, I mean, they put in the time, they put in the finances to make sure, you go to school and do the things maybe that you wanted to do, and then you realize you still wasn't sure. How were they there to support you when you were basically stuck to figuring out what you wanted to do next?
Well, I was always very driven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was a dreamer. And I think without having dreams, like anyway in life, you have to have dreams. You have to think. I always thought bigger than I should. Once I got into trouble, I mean, have some really big ideas that I was too young and inexperienced to climb that mountain. So I had to start at the bottom, right? And work myself.
Yeah.
And the 5 houses turned into 10 houses, and the 10 houses turned into 30 houses, and that's how it started.
So let us talk about Heartland Estate. And now we heard where you started with it by purchasing, but when you realized this could be a major company for you?
Well, I have 40-odd years in the business. Mm-hmm. Right, 40-odd years of experience.
Look like that, just saying.
Yeah, well, I'm 66 now. So I started at age 20. So if you do the math, I'm about 46 years in the business. So I did a host of developments throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Mm-hmm. I did the Renaissance development, part with the Rahals, which is the most beautiful building you will see probably in the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And that, from a financial point of view, did not go down well at all.
When you say that, I mean, you can't go too much in it. But
well, I mean, basically, we lost money on the project, but I'm very proud of it.
Okay.
Right? But it taught me a lot as well, because it's always a learning experience. Everything you do, you learn and you try to improve.
Yes.
And financing back in the 1980s was much easier than financing today.
Why is that though?
Well, it was back in the early 80s. It was more relationships. Now banks see you as a number,
Okay.
and really as not as a person who can do A, B, and C. It's not as personal as it used to
Transactional.
be. Yes, correct. Yes, and so it's even more difficult now, even with all my experience, to raise financing to do projects, right? So I took a beating with that project, but I never gave up. Piece of land in Heartland was offered to me, and I went to Eastern Credit Union. They agreed to finance it. It is the most beautiful development ever undertaken in Trinidad and Tobago. And I said that not because I did it. The eating's in the pudding. If one goes and see it, see how beautiful it is.
It came from the heart.
It came from the heart, yeah.
So, given that opportunity with Eastern, as you said, the relationship that you were missing, that was there in the 80s now with certain financial institutions, you definitely received that from Eastern Credit Union.
Yeah, I don't think any other financial institution would have financed the project the way how Eastern had financed it.
Yes.
And so I'm very grateful for them showing the confidence they had in me and not even knowing me at the time. And that has opened the door. So other financial institutions, although I've always dealt with
Yes.
various banks, I mean, that was kind of the proof in the pudding that this person with 40 odd years experience can handle himself.
Now, you were able to recover from, as you mentioned, some of the blows. And how were you able, when I say recover wise, some persons, when they get a blow like that, to that extent, and you put so much of your energy, your blood, your sweat, your tears into a project that you said you're very passionate about, to not make you say, you know what, I am not doing this again. What made you, apart from yes, pushing yourself, but you had to have something to make you say, I could get more.
Determination and confidence in myself.
Okay.
Right? I'm not one to give up on anything. Right? I'm a very determined individual. Right? And very honest, right? And straightforward. And I think that saved me.
Yes.
Right? Because although I did very well up to 2007, I took a big blow. We all did. We all took a.
Everyone.
Yeah, everybody involved in the project. Yeah, because I was part of a group that had 50% stake in it. So we did take a big blow, and we've recovered. And it shows our passion, our determination, our honesty, our drive.
Yes.
And I want to talk to young people, because a lot of young people leave school just like me, not knowing what they want to do. And I want to tell young people, basically, certain steps they need to take in their lives. And the first thing they should do is get up in the morning, believe in themselves, get dressed, portray themselves properly, manners, being polite. The construction industry is one industry that there are lots of players. There are carpenters, masons, electricians, plumbers, architects,
Yes.
project
Interior
managers,
designers,
quantity surveyors, valuators. So I mean, even people selling food. I mean, it employs so many individuals, right? It's the heart of any economy, construction industry. I employ young people who may not make it in school. Because I was not a brilliant person in school, very average student. I played a lot of cricket and football,
well-rounded.
Well-rounded.
Yes, with the academic sports, it brings a nice balance.
Correct. But I had that determination and drive to succeed and not to give up. And I think young people, there's so many opportunities in Trinidad, right? And I mean, contractors, individuals, homeowners are looking for good skilled people, right? They're very hard to find. And we have a lot of unemployed young men. And I want them to get up in the morning and make themselves useful. There are opportunities there for them. They need to portray themselves properly.
Now, when it comes to you speaking, especially to young persons, and for them to understand that you could do anything. And I believe that. Once you put your mind to something, it could be done. It doesn't just happen overnight, but it's a process that you have to go through, right? Now, with you being in the position that you're in, how were you able, especially the field, I should say now, because contractors and construction, many times they see it as, oh yeah, these persons, when I hire them to build something for me, I'm not getting what I'm looking for, but you are able to find, or persons are able to trust you in what you're delivering. Persons in your field, what advice you could give individuals who are starting a business like yours, where persons are able to truly trust them and removing the stigma that is there that other persons, the bad apples, the few, that cause to have a broad brush on all of you all.
A lot of young people, I think, blame everybody else and they don't accept responsibility. I interact with a lot of young people and I tell them, I said, you started off as a laborer. If you're still a laborer in 3 years' time, go and find another job. Because I want to see them progress. I want to see a laborer become a carpenter or mason or electrician or plumber and then eventually open their own business because there's a market for it. There's a market for it.
How could persons find ways, and I'm specifically speaking about the field that you're in, to market themselves, for persons to see them, for them to get growth? What did you do? Because it seems to me from what I'm hearing with you, you evolve with the time. You stay up to date with what is taking place.
Well, I think basically, besides having a fairly good education, which I did,
Yes.
I'm not apologizing for that.
That's very important.
Right? Young people today, in today's world, don't understand themselves. Right? I always tell young people the greatest asset you have in life is yourself. So how you forget your car, forget whatever you
The
own,
worldly things.
right? Yes, yourself. That's your greatest asset. So how you portray yourself every day will reflect how you do well in life.
Yeah.
And it starts off simple by good manners, right? And proper attire.
I was going right back to that because you said that when we opened, how you carry yourself, how you portray yourself.
I
put yourself
honestly
together.
believe in that.
Yes.
Right? And I think some young people talk to me. I have about 200 people working for me, and sometimes I tell them stop. I don't understand this. This is not English you're talking.
Lingo.
Right? Right? Come on. You know? And
Basics.
Basics, right? So start off by speaking properly, and you can speak properly. A lot of them,
I agree.
their English is bad, their spelling is bad, but they have skills.
Yeah.
So if you portray yourself properly and just keep things simple, they will do very well in life.
Simple things in life
Simple things in life, yeah,
could take you very far.
could take us very, very far.
So where are we at now with Heartland Estate 2025? Especially coming out of COVID. I have to ask you that because after 2007 and then we had this global pandemic and the industry that you're in was affected to some degree, but where are we now after
Well,
that?
the thing is, I
2025,
bought Heartland Development in COVID, right?
What?
Yeah, I'm so very grateful that Eastern saw my vision and supported me. I have a lot to be grateful for and thankful to Eastern Credit Union for giving me the opportunity to create what I created there.
So that was a bold move during COVID. And what made you see it as an opportunity at that time?
Well, you have to understand the market. In my business, you have to understand the market, right? And I understood the market better than, and I will say better with confidence, better than the people who lend you money,
Okay.
right? I think bankers are very risk adverse, right? Extremely risk adverse, and they don't understand the market. And to be fair to them as well, as a developer, a lot of developers have failed the bank. And as I said, scenario where Peter pays for Paul,
Yeah.
that's a fact.
Yeah.
So with Peter paying for Paul, they look at certain parameters, right? Basically, they want 30% down,
Yes.
finance 70%. But the person who has experience should be able to borrow 100%.
To
because
go and
we
do the
know-
investment, right?
Right, yeah. So, and I will say that I paid what 10% down on the land, and Eastern financed that project to their credit, and I'm extremely grateful. And it shows what my experience and my vision, my honesty, and the commitment to what I'm doing, how it's turned out.
And I guess, as you mentioned before, the importance of your self worth and persons understanding your asset is you. And because you were showing yourself as an asset, Eastern was able to see that as well and not a liability in this case. And it was beneficial for them because you're a member, you're able to also employ individuals as
Correct.
well
Yeah.
and give back in a way to society that we need homes. We need
Yes,
places
yes,
to
yes,
stay.
yes. We need to get young people
Yes.
involved.
Yes,
we
we
need to get
do.
young people to come off the streets and contribute to society, and don't blame the government, don't blame their parents, because they all had education. I mean, Trinidad is one country that you get a free education from start to finish, and even when you finish,
You still could go back.
you still could go back. I see a lot of young women educating themselves. I don't see enough young men educating themselves. So when the women take over, men to catch.
That's what I'm saying because, and then you're hearing more of, the alpha female, but they're just pursuing their careers so aggressively to the point where, as you said, you're seeing them penetrating in certain markets that we really used to see a lot of men in, which is fine. You're getting the balance there, but it should be able for all. And the men, I guess, they see in the females.
The young men are falling back.
Yeah, they need to pick
tremendously.
up the pace of it.
Yeah, and women are more ambitious. They present themselves
Yes,
better,
yeah.
and they work harder, and that's a fact.
I'm happy that you said it. And not
No,
me.
no, but no, it's a fact because I talk to my workmen, have meetings with them occasionally, speaking about life. I mean, about bringing up the children and be responsible and what have you. And like a couple of them, they spend $600 a week on weed.
Yeah.
I tell them, how is that helping you?
And they can invest that six
They can invest that
somewhere to
$600.
start a trade or do
Correct.
something with a business.
Everybody needs a plumber at home.
Yes.
Everybody needs an electrician at home, right?
We'll call.
Huh? Who to call?
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, you could be self-employed,
Yeah.
right? I think the best thing in life is to be self-employed, right? So I like to see young people get up and get out there, portray themselves, find a trade, and they will do very well in life.
When you decided that this is what I wanted to do on my own, I didn't want to work for anyone, was that moment, of course, with the passion that kicked in that I could do this by myself?
Correct, yes.
When you felt that, when did you realize?
I always knew that.
Okay. So
right?
went through just
you have to have
phases.
you have dreams, eh? I mean, some dreams are maybe beyond you, but you keep
But
dreaming.
it happened.
You keep dreaming, and you keep creating, right? And some will fall through the cracks.
But what do you tell persons who get comfortable? They may have the dream, and then when they get in the space and they work for someone, they say, okay, well, like, this is a safety net here. And you become complacent, basically, in that space versus as what you did. Okay, I learned this here, I went to do this, I get more experience here, and then I started it on my own. How we could remove that comfort net?
Well, people must have confidence in themselves and their ability to go on their own. I think making that step, it is a hard step, depending on their financial situation.
Okay.
In terms of whether they have their own property, whether they have a partner or a wife and they have children, and they don't want to make that move. But the service industry is the biggest industry in the world, right? And it had not other things other than construction. There's fixing computers, being a mechanic. I mean, there are lots of trades, right? And they're well paid. They are very well paid. But you're only going to do well, right, if you have that drive and that passion to do well.
I always say, when you try to figure out what you're passionate about, and you mention young persons, and I speak to young people as well, just with my little experience in my field, and I always mention to them, if you ever had a thought, or in this case, a dream, or a feeling of something you wanted to do, and you can't stop thinking about it. And every time you think about it, your palms get sweaty and you feel this overflowing of emotions towards whatever that dream may be or feeling of something that you wanted to do. That is what you should do because it gives you that feeling is to remind you need to do it. Do it. And every day you think about it, it is just a moment of, okay, once I start, I know things will fall into place. But it's those little feelings, those signs that make you know that maybe I should really be doing this.
Everybody has a talent.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Everybody
Everyone
has a talent. Right?
You just have to find it, right?
You have to find your talent.
Yes.
Right? And build on that.
Yes.
And you're not going to get to 100 in the first day. But you have to start. Right?
From 20 years old.
From 20 years old, yes.
And right now, after 46 years of being in the business, I hope people understand the time. It didn't happen 2 years later.
No.
So they need to understand that.
I fell down a couple of times.
Yes.
You know, but I never gave up. And we had a situation in 1986, you know, when things were difficult at that.
Was that the recession time? I wasn't born yet, but I know of it. So that was the
recession.
Recession that hit Trinidad and Tobago.
We had the recession where 10% of public servants were sent home. Yes. The economy was in a mess. And there were difficult times, you know. And I survived.
You're here.
You know, and I'm here.
With a big heart.
With a big heart, yes.
And land.
Probably, yeah. Well, you know, people owning a property is most people's greatest investment in life.
Biggest.
And it always increases in value, right? So some people say, I'm afraid of a mortgage, but they prefer to pay rent, you know? But
you just don't understand that's
you just throw money down the drain, you know?
But can I ask you this before we go? When it comes to outside real estate, do you do anything else investment-wise that you're interested in, or you're just heavily involved in the real estate business?
I honestly believe stick to what you know.
Okay.
Stick to what you know. I have invested monies in other things. It's
or like
well, little investments,
okay, cool.
But there's no fun in it to me.
No interest.
I really have no interest in it. Mm-hmm. Unless you have interest in something, you're not going to do well. You have to be interested in it. You have to work it. Mm-hmm. You know, people go into stocks and trades. I'm just not interested. You know, okay. I love what I do, and I want to continue what I'm doing.
It's a pleasure, Jeffrey, for being here with us. And I hope that you continue to inspire our young people of Trinidad and Tobago, inspire people that you are around, inspire individuals who are still trying to find their way. And I hope this was a space that you're able to just start. Because the first episode we said that. Just start.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Yeah, all you have to do is start.
I look forward to seeing young people take the opportunities they have in life that this country offers, because they always think elsewhere is better. Always best at home.
Sweeter.
Right? Sweet at home.
Yes,
right?
it is.
There's no other country like Trinidad and Tobago.
Beautiful.
Right? I've been all over, and I can tell you that you're always comfortable in your own skin. Yeah. Right? Trinidad and Tobago, young people, get up, get out there, and be productive.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for being here with us and letting us know about your journey and so much more. Now, remember, if you want to see more of this episode and other episodes to come, make sure and follow us on our social media handles at Eastern Credit Union. And if you want to email us with information or any sort of questions you may have, feel free to email us at idea2income@easterncutt.com for more. Until next time, Idea to Income, let your dreams become a reality. We're out.